Okay, just you wait for a minute as again joining. Let me share the second attendance for class. You can scan this QR code. Okay, I just save the attendance, so you can scan the attendance for the scan the QR code for your attendance. So let us continue where we are. So we can say there is a two base, the scope of the variable can be defined in two different categories. One limited to form, okay, where the variable declared inside the form, the scope of the variable will be within the form. Then second type is the scope of the variable within the modules. Okay. Now, if you are declared inside the module, the scope of the variable within the module, and we will declare with the scope body scope variable. Okay. Now, let us declare one by one what you mean by local variable or the form variable. So, local variable is one which is declared inside a procedure, or I can say inside a form. And this for variables is only available in the code inside the procedure and can be declared using the dim statement. Fine. So whatever we declare earlier, whatever we declare the variable with the help of explicit statement, explicit declaration that are called local variable. That means the scope of that variable which will be limited to within that procedure or this procedure के अंदर हमने variable को declare किया है उसका scope वह रहेगा or within the form. We can say within the form where we are declared. Next thing, the variable that are declared with the keyword dim exist as long as the procedure being executed. That means once the procedure is closed, okay, the the scope of the variable will no longer will be available. That means so the variable which is declared as a dim statement that can be accessed or scope of that variable will be limited for the particular procedure only. So whenever you exit from the procedure or whenever the procedure is not executing, we cannot access the variable. Okay, for example, as we can declare accessibility variables, all accessibility variables have the scope as a local variable, which is limited to a particular procedure. Fine. So next is your static variables. One next concept is static variable. Okay. So as we know, static represents the value of the variable will not change throughout the program. Okay. So sometimes we need to access the variable again and again, and its value should not be changes. So its value should be preserved. So on that case, we will going to use the static variable. So the static variable on uh, not reinitialize each time whenever the program or whenever the variable is called by a procedure, and therefore it return or preserve the value even the procedure ends. So this is the first thing you have to remember about the static variable. So what happened here? So whenever you call a program or procedure, so it will not going to reinitialize. Okay, suppose there is a procedure P1. Okay, now there is some static variable. I'm having a static variable type. Okay, so it will be going to initialize only one throughout the entire programs or entire application. It will initialize only once. So not know how many times you call this program. Okay, it will not going to initialize. So it will be preserve its value. If it is a static, then it will going to retain this value or preserve its value throughout this procedure. Second thing you have to remember about the static variable is this static variable are also ideal for making control alternative visible and invisible statement. Third point you have to remember the values in a module level and public variables are preserved for a lifetime of an application. Okay, so if the variables are declared in a module level or in public visible level, okay, so we have visibility is where we can access the variable. Okay, either it can be accessed publicly or it can be accessed privately. So if the values are defined in a module level or in public variables, okay, public level, then it can be preserved this value for the lifetime of the application. Then the value of the local variable can be preserved using the word static. So we have to use for the declaration of static variables. So we will use an special keyword called static. So we will use the special keyword called static. Now this is an example where we declare a static variable. Now here int permanent is that static variable as we are used and static keyword before it. Okay, and it is a data type is it is a type. So no doubt that one more variable we are having accumulate. Again accumulate. Accumulate is your static variable. Now no doubt how many times the function is called. The function is called. The static variable is only going to initialize once, and every time the function is called, it is going to preserve its value. Its value will not going to change. So this is something about what we mean by the static variable. So next is your module level variables. Okay, module level variable. So module level variables are available to all processes in the module. So whatever process or whatever form that are present in my module, the variable will be available to all. They are declared using the public or private keyword. So what are the keyword we are using? If you are using the keyword like public or private, then it can be used as module level. The declared variable using private or deep statement in the declaration section of module. Then a standard PS module, a form module, or a class module. So any of the module, either you use the standard module or a form module or class module. Okay, we will create. We are creating a private module for a variable. So you have to first of all you have to use the public or private keyword for that one. Then if you are using a private or deep statement for declaring a variable in a whether within a standard module or within a form module or class module. So it will going to create a private module level variable. Now we can access the module property as regular variable from the inside the module and we can custom the property from the outside. That means, so we can access the, so what actually this point is saying, so we can access the value of the variable from inside the module, and we can change the property or change the value of the variable from the outside the module also. Okay, so this is something about module level variables. Okay, which can be declared at the module level. So you have to remember, if it is declared in the module level, then it is accessible to all the procedures. All the procedures can be accessed, can easily accessible. Second thing is it declared with the alphabet keyword for public or private. Fine. Third thing is the module level. It can be regularly accessible from inside the module, but it can be modified from the outside the module also. Clear? Now, next thing you have to understand about the public versus local variables. Okay, so variable can have the same name but different scope. Okay, the variable which have same name but different scope are called public variables. Right. For example, we can have a public variable name R within the procedure which can be declared in a local variable R. Okay. Then the variable and a reference of R outside the procedure could access the public variable. So that means if a variable is declared as a public, okay, so that means it can be accessed within the module, and it can be accessed, or its reference can be accessed outside the procedure also. Fine. So these are some so these are the something about we have discussed about the variables. Okay. Now, regarding the variable, you have to remember basically two types of variables we are using. One is your local variables and second one is your module variables. Local variables are limited to the forms or a particular procedure, whereas a module variables are can be used within all the applications or all the procedures that are defined in my application. Second thing, a deep keyword is used for the local variable, whereas we can use the private or public variable in case of module level variable. Second thing, you remember a scope of the variable. If it is defined in a local variable, then what will be its scope? And if it defined in a module level variable, then what will be its scope? Fine. So next thing that we're going to discuss is about constant. So again, constants are basically used to store some values. Okay. So which cannot be modified throughout this program. So variables is quite similar to variable, but slight changes. So constant can store variables, but the name. But as the name implies, the values remains constant throughout the execution of the application. That means we cannot change the value that is assigned to the constant. Then the using constant can make our code more reliable by providing a meaningful name instead of a number. So that means instead of storing the direct number, so if I give a name to the particular number, then it will be much reliable. So there are two sources of for a constant. One is your system defined constant बोलते हैं, ठीक है? System defined constant are provided by the applications and the controls. Okay, so these are the constant which is already defined by the systems, and uh, they are assigned with the help of applications or the controls. And second one is user defined constant, which are declared using the statement called const statement. So if user want to declare or define a new constant, so we can use the const statement for it, and it is a space in a memory filled with a fixed value which is cannot be changed. So once the user will define it with a constant statement, what will happen? It will fix a memory. Uh, it will allocate a memory or fix a space in a memory with a fixed value that cannot be changed throughout the program. Fine. Now this is a syntax for that one. Now we define constant name as the keyword. Or this is a constant name. Now we can assign the value. For example, here x is a constant whose value is this one. Now again you can define either it's public and private, depend upon its scope. What scope we can going to access. So these are some next that is important regarding the visual programming is what are the operations that can be performed on a visual program. Okay, what are the operations that can be performed on visual program, or what are the operators that are supported in a visual program. So as we know, an operator is a special symbol which indicates a certain process in my the certain process that should be carried out in my programming language. Okay, so different operators that are supported by the visual programming are, first one is your arithmetic operator. So basically it is a binary operator. Okay, so binary operator means you support the two operands. Okay, to access this type of operator we require two operands, and it is used to perform many of the familiar arithmetic operations that involve for the calculation of the numeric value represented either by literals, variable or other expression and function and subfunction and constant. Okay, so basically arithmetic operators are basically meant for the calculation purpose. Okay, and second thing to remember, most of the arithmetic operators are binary operators. That means we require two input for that one. Fine. So these are the some operators that we are frequently used. One is called addition operator, second subtraction, then division. Now this is interesting, which is called integer division. With the backslash we are using here. Now this is the integer division. But what we mean by integer division, it will always gives the integer part of a division. So whenever you divide the value, it will always going to provide you the integer part or integral part of that. So that means when you divide 20 by 3, it will something 6 point something, but it will return the integer part. Then there is a multiplication operator. Now this is exponential operator, which will be going to give the exponent's value of any variables or any constants. We can use for the variable as well as constant. Now we are having a mod operator, then there is a one again the special operator that can be used here for string concatenation. Okay, this operator can be used for string concatenation. This is AND operator we are using. So how it is used? So we are having two strings here now. One is George, second one is Bruce. So when we are using the AND operator with two strings, I will concatenate, perform the concatenation between the two strings. Okay, this is something about arithmetic operator. What is the arithmetic operator that is supported by the visual programming? Now, second type of operator that is supported are called comparison, or we can say or relational operator. Condition sometimes called conditional, or sometimes called relational operator in a visual programming. So, as we know, the comparison operator are used to compare two expressions and return the Boolean value that represent a relationship between the two variables. Okay, again, it can be a binary operators or sometime it can be a trinary operator. Fine. So what basically it will do, it will compare two operators, okay, or we can say compare two operands, okay, or two expressions, and what will return? It always going to return the Boolean value. So Boolean value, as we know, either it will return true or false, okay, with respect to the relationship between the values. So it will compare or it will establish a particular relationship between any two variables. Fine. So second point, there are operators for comparing. Now this operator can be used for comparing numerical values. Operator for comparing we can use for strings and for comparing the object also. Okay. So visual programming can extend this operator. Now I can use this operator for comparing the numerical analysis or numerical values like variables, which is a variable say. Then it can be used for comparing the strings also. Even it can be used for comparing two different objects. Further, what is the relationship between the two objects? Okay. So what are the different operators that are supported? What are the different operators that can be supported in my visual programming? Now this is greater than operator, less than operator. Okay. Similarly, greater than less than operator, or less than or equal to operator, greater than or equal to operator, then not equal to operator and equal to operator. So result of all this you can see here. Whatever the result we are getting, it is all in terms of Boolean format. Okay, the result will be always in Boolean format. Fine. So it basically used to establish a relationship between either the variables or numerical values or between the string, even between the object. We can compare between the object also. Okay, so these are something. What are the operators that are supported by the visual programming? Okay, so let's move on. Third type of operator, which is called logical operator. Okay, third one is called your logical operator. Now, as we know, logical operator compare the Boolean expression. Okay, so basically it is used to compare the Boolean expression and return the Boolean result. Fine. So whenever we use the logical operation or logical operator, you have to remember it must be an uh, the operand type should be a Boolean expression type. Okay. Now the input will be Boolean expression type and the result will be Boolean result, that is true and false. Okay, so what are different logical operators that is supported by the visual programming? So this is simple AND operator, OR operator. There is AND also operator like OR also operator. Then is the XOR operator that are supported by the visual programming. Okay, and while and third point, remember some of these operators can perform uh, can be used for the bitwise logical operation for the integer values. So some of this operator I can also use for the bitwise or bit shifting or right shifting or right shifting purpose scaling of the discuss for the integer value. Okay, now what the OR operator basically operation will be true if either of the operator is true. That means if कोई भी expression either of this Boolean expression is true, then the final result will be true. Then in case of NAND, operation will be true if both the Boolean expression or both the operand, if both the operand is true, then only the final answer will be true. Now there is XOR operation. XOR operation is one side or other must be true. Both are not true. That means either of that is true. If both are same, that is both are having 0 or both are having true values, then it will be false. Either of this value are true, then it will be true. And not is simply give the opposite of that. Okay, or negates the true value. So this is something about one of the logical operators that are supported by the visual programming. Yes, next is something about your data conversions. Okay, so in visual programming, we are having some basic functions. Okay, basic functions that either convert a string into an integer or we need to convert an integer into a string. Okay, so many of time, so many of time we need a data type conversion in our visual programming code. So it can be either we have to convert the string function to the integer type or the integer function to the string type. Okay, to convert this type of operation or to perform this type of operation, the visual programming support some of the predefined function. Okay, predefined library function. So let us discuss some of the predefined library function. So suppose if you want to convert to a Boolean type function, okay, that means the function name is CBOOL. So what we want the function will do? The function will convert any data type to 0 and 1. That means if you want to convert any data type to Boolean type, okay, if I want to convert any data type to Boolean type, so I will use this function which is cbool. So what we will do, it will convert any data type to Boolean which is your 0 and 1. Similarly, conversion to byte, okay, so I will use the cbyte function. Okay, now what the cbyte function will do? The function will convert any data type to byte format. Okay, so whatever suppose I want to convert an integer data type to the byte type. So what I have to do? So I will use the function cbyte to convert the integer data type or any data type to the byte type. Similarly, to convert to currency format, so I will use this function cpur function. So this function will convert any data type to the currency type or currency data type. किसी भी data type को आपको currency data type में convert करता है. Similarly, to convert to the date data type, so I will use the cdate. Okay, cdates are used. So what cdate function will be do? Cdate function basically convert your any data type to the date function data type. Then decimal. So we'll see DEC function or CDEC function will convert any data type to the decimal format. If you want to convert in a decimal format. Similarly, if you want to convert to the double, okay, convert to double data type. So now I use this function. Now this function converts any integer, long integer, or single type to the double precise number or floating type number में convert करते हैं. Fine. Next is your value, which is represented as val. So what the val will do? Val function will use to convert string to double data type. Okay, so what val basically will do? Whatever the string data type we are having, okay, that string data type will be converted to the what? Your double data type. Fine. So these are the functions that we are. All these functions are predefined or all cases in library functions, which is basically used for which is basically used which is basically used for your conversion of purpose. Fine.